Now, this decision was not made lightly. I did not want to go back into the foster care system. It was horrible. We were blacklisted when, we needed help. But we had this strong feeling that there was another child who needed our help. We actually had even let our foster care license lapse, and we had to renew it again. And we went through this process because we believed wholeheartedly that we were meant to help this other child, whoever it should be, that would come into our lives. Like, I had visions and dreams about what this child looked like, and so did my daughter. And so it was a very strong feeling. So we open up, our home again to foster care, and we end up getting placed with this beautiful baby girl who was just barely 1 year old. And this child, again, just bonded with us completely, and we loved her so much, and it felt so much like she was going to be ours, especially after it was found out that mom and dad weren't really interested in changing things to get her back. They had been the type of people to get pregnant with a whole bunch of babies and then give them to foster agencies and live off of the money for the next year. And so it was a quick case. And after about 7 months, we were 1 month away from adopting her when this other child made another claim. So what had happened in this circumstance was that this child was being completely out of control again. She was sent down to her room, and we did, all the things, all the things that you could think of. And she was set down in her room, and she started throwing this massive fit. And I was actually afraid that she might hurt herself. She's pulling things off of the wall, boxes of toys and stuff, and she's, kicking and screaming and all over the place. And I tell her very calmly, you need to stop, or I'm going to have to spank your bum. At this point, she's adopted. So it was okay for me to give her a swat on the bum, in my opinion, as we had used all of the tools, everything. And as we went through court and everything about this situation, no one can give me another solution about what to do with this child. It was difficult. We had done everything. In this situation, she had, put herself into such a fit that it seemed to me, like it had in the past, that she was maybe even possessed, with a demon or something. She was not herself. And I, at these times, would sometimes just look her in the eye and say, I want to talk to my daughter. I need to talk to my daughter. And I would see a change in her face. And she would calm down. And sometimes the swat on the bum was the thing that got her attention. But it didn't happen very often. It was just like 5 times or so. But this time she got this tiny little bruise on her arm, which wasn't where I spanked her. I spanked her on her jean bottom. And so it turned into this huge court case. And what happened is that they came in and took this other baby, the foster baby, from a friend who was babysitting at the time. We didn't get to say goodbye. David and I were like 3 hours away from home in Salt Lake when we lived in Tremont, and it was heartbreaking. It broke my heart. The CPS workers broke the law when they did what they did. They were supposed to give us 30 days notice. They were supposed to do some investigation before they just took her out of the home after the claim was made. It was awful. This bruise was most likely received by her tantrum throwing, and she told the behavior specialist, she told them that I was abusing her, that I had spanked her and she got this bruise. And so it was pretty awful for me. And so we did the best that we could. We felt that like this, baby was part of our family. So we did the best that we could to fight for this child. And we fought for her up until the point that she was to be adopted to another family. and I couldn't take her from this other family. I couldn't devastate this other family. And so I was heartbroken. And I remember that night when I had made that decision, I stayed up all night cleaning the house and crying because my heart had never, with everything that I had been through, had never hurt or broken so badly as it did that day when I lost my child. It just felt like she was ripped out from my home, and I had no rights and no say, and almost like any of my kids at any time could be ripped from me without any of my say or anything that I could do to protect them from that.